Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It's a first-person adventure game where players take on the role of a Navi trained by the RDA. It's out this year on December 7th. That makes it the latest release date out of the year and currently the only AAA game scheduled for December. Along with a new trailer that finally shares details about Avatar's story, Ubisoft shared a gameplay breakdown that gives insight into Frontiers of Pandora's world. After the RDA leaves Pandora, the unnamed Navi rediscovers her homeworld and reconnects with her heritage, learning Navi weapons and survival skills and honing them for when the RDA inevitably returns. The gameplay is reminiscent of Ubisoft's other open-world shooter, Far Cry, as players must venture out into Pandora and take down RDA strongholds scattered across the planet. According to Ubisoft, the long-awaited adaptation will include single-player and two-player co-op and is designed to maximize new-gen consoles. That's good to hear because, in my opinion, the footage they showed of Assassin's Creed Mirage does not seem to be maximizing new-gen consoles. Avatar wasn't the only big licensed game Ubisoft showed off today. There was also Star Wars Outlaws coming next year, and that one is much more exciting than Avatar to me, if I'm being honest. Outlaws is probably the best game I've seen during all of not E3. I'll link you the gameplay trailer at the end of this video. Moving on, we now know that Starfield runs at 30 frames per second on both Xbox Series X and S. Speaking to IGN, Bethesda's Todd Howard said Starfield runs in 4K resolution on the Series X and 1440p on the Series S, but has locked Starfield at 30 frames per second on console to ensure consistency of performance. Howard said, "I think it'll come as no surprise given our previous games what we go for. Always these huge open worlds, fully dynamic, hyper detail where anything can happen. And we do want to do that. It's 4K in the X, it's 1440 on the S. We do lock it at 30 because we want that fidelity, we want all that stuff. We don't want to sacrifice any of it. Fortunately in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60. But on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency where you're not even thinking about it." Now I assume he's talking about the PC version when he mentioned 60 frames per second. I've been a little on the fence about Starfield, but after yesterday's Direct Showcase following the Xbox show, I finally feel excited to play. I will definitely be blasting off on my Series X on September 6th. And speaking of Starfield, the Constellation Edition comes with an actual functional watch modeled after the same one you get in-game. Bethesda says it wanted to make the watch feel as believable as possible, matching the item that acts as part of your HUD and letting this real one connect with your phone. It also comes in a special case that was modeled after cases from the Apollo era that were used to bring back lunar samples. It calls to mind the wearable Pip-Boy that was bundled with collector's editions of Fallout 4, except you don't need to fit your phone into your Starfield watch in order for it to function. The Constellation Edition costs a cool $300. It comes with 5 days of early access to Starfield, as well as a story expansion, digital art book, original soundtrack, and more. A limited edition Starfield-themed Xbox Series X and S controller and headset were also shown off alongside the watch. The controller is listed for $80, while the headset will run you $125.